Did you guys hear about the story about an assassin in the Bible?
Yeah, why is such a weird story about and crazy story about an assassin in the Bible?
Yeah, well, let me read it. Let's have a story time.
All right.
All right. So this is in Judges chapter 3, starting in verse 12. And the people of Israel again did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. And the Lord strengthened Eglon, the king of Moab, against Israel, because they had done what was evil in the sight of the Lord. He gathered to himself the Ammonites and the Amalekites, and went and defeated Israel. And they took possession of the city of palms. And the people of Israel served Eglon, the king of Moab, 18 years. So they're in slavery. They're in this horrible place. And then it says, Then the people of Israel cried out to the Lord, and the Lord raised up for them a deliverer, Ehud, the son of Gera, the Benjamite, a left-handed man. That becomes very important.
Okay.
The people of Israel sent tribute by him to Eglon, the king of Moab. And Ehud made for himself a sword with 2 edges, a cubit in length. Cubit is like this long. It's a fairly short sword that he made for himself.
Yeah.
So he made for him this sword, and he bound it on his right thigh under his clothes. So I think he put it here.
Inside a thigh.
I think so.
All right.
and he presented the tribute to Eglon, the king of Moab. Now, this is another important part of the story. Now, Eglon was very fat. He was a very fat man. And when Ehud had finished presenting the tribute, he sent away the people who carried the tribute. But he himself turned back at the idols near Gilgal and said, I have a secret message for you, O king. And the king commanded, Silence, and all his attendants went out from his presence. And Ehud came to him as he was sitting alone in his cool roof chamber. And Ehud said, I have a message from God for you. And and the king arose from his seat. And Ehud reached with his left hand and took the sword from his right thigh and thrust it into his belly. And the hilt also went in after the blade, and the fat closed around the blade, for he did not pull the sword out of the belly, and the dung came out. Then Ehud went out into the porch and closed the doors of the roof chamber behind him and locked them. Now, when he had gone, the servants came, and when they saw that the doors of the roof chamber were locked, they thought, Surely the king is relieving himself in the closet of the cool chamber. And they waited till they were embarrassed. But when he still did not open the doors of the roof chamber, they took the key and opened them, and there lay their lord, dead on the floor. Ehud escaped while they delayed, and he passed beyond the idols and escaped to Sariah. And when he arrived, he sounded the trumpet in the hill country of Ephraim. Then the people of Israel went down with him from the hill country, and he was their leader. And he said to them, Follow after me, for the Lord has given your enemies the Moabites into your hand. So they went down after him and seized the fords of Jordan and against the Moabites, and did not allow anyone to pass over. And they killed at that time about 10,000 Moabites, all strong, able-bodied men. Not a man escaped. So Moab was subdued that day under the hand of Israel, and the land had rest for 80 years.
Wow, that's a pretty crazy story.
Yeah, so why again is this in the Bible?
Yeah, good question. So the book of Judges is this long or fairly long book, and it's talking about this time in Israel where the people have entered into the promised land, but they haven't captured it like they should have, and they aren't completely following God's plan and purpose. And so we see these pictures of where Israel rejects God, and it's like a cycle. Israel rejects God. God allows some people to come in and capture them, or like we saw at the beginning of the story, like the Moabites. And then the people cry out to God and ask for them to save him. And then he sends a deliverer who saves them and rescues them and delivers them from their enemies. And then they have peace. And then we see the cycle start again in the next chapter. If you were to read, the cycle would start again. The people reject God, they forget him, and then God allows them to be captured again. And so it's the story like this is in the Bible. It's fun to read, first of all, but also they're showing how the people of Israel abandoned God and what happened to them, and then also how he delivered them from that, even though they weren't faithful to him.